Welcome to Lee Does Stuff. We have our leather dressing, open-offs, our saddle soap, we have an applicator, we have some cloths. That's everything we'll need for this project. Here are my pair of Tony Llamas that are a bit beat up, as we can see. And in this video, I'm going to show you how we're going to revitalize these beautiful Tony Llama boots. So first of all, we're going to grab our saddle soap and we're going to prime the saddle soap with some warm water. So we're going to get some warm water in the tin here. This is going to soften the saddle soap and get it ready when we start applying it to the boot. So I grab a microfiber cloth here. I just dampen it. You don't want it too wet. You just want it damp enough to go over the whole boot and just get rid of any dirt and grime that may have accumulated on your hard working boots. I find that the microfiber cloths are a lot better than just a standard rag. The nature of the microfiber cloths really get into all the areas that a regular cloth won't. Okay, let's start applying the saddle soap. But before we can do that, we have to get a nice lather going. And this is already working a lot better. The fact that you prime it makes such a huge difference. Let's add a bit more water here, and you don't want it super runny. You just want lots of nice foam and nice bubbles. I'm going to add even a little bit more here, and I'll show you what the consistency should look like here. See, there we go. That's what we want right there. Nice bubbly goodness. Okay, so here we go. Now that is how we want to apply saddle soap. It's not runny, it's not wet, and this little container right there, how I prepped it, it will do both boots, no problem. All right, so a lot of people can use a cloth or maybe a brush. I find that just a cheap whisker brush, something that you would use while you were shaving, I find is the best applicator for saddle soap. It just really gets in all the areas that other brushes or cloth might have a hard time. So keep working your saddle soap in a circular motion, going around the whole boot. We're almost done here. And now we're just going to take our microfiber cloth, our damp microfiber cloth, and we're just going to clean all that saddle soap off the boot. You're going to notice when you start wiping off the saddle soap how soft your boots and condition that they are going to start to feel. Using the saddle soap alone is enough in some instances, but for boots that are beat up and have a lot of scuffs, you're going to want to use a really, really nice leather dressing. So here we go. Here's the difference. There's the one on the right and there's the one on the left. Now the boot on the right that we just did needs to dry, and you'll see, here we go. This is only after a couple hours, and you'll see we've stripped the boot from all the dirt and oils, and now we are going to need to replace them, and we're going to do that with open-offs. So I'm just looking at all the scuff marks here. You want to just kind of see what the damage is and get your attack plan ready. So here is the arsenal we will be using to fix the damage. Now, this is a great product. It's all natural. I use my fingers here. I don't use a brush or a cloth. I find the natural heat of my body really works in the product better than a brush or a cloth would. Now, I'm going to give you all a warning here. If you really like the color of your boots, I do not recommend to put a leather dressing on them, because any leather dressing, from what I know and what I've used, it will darken the leather, and it changes the look of the boot. So if you do not want that to happen, I would highly recommend spraying your boots rather than using a leather dressing. Now, the caveat to that is using a leather dressing is going to protect your boot, and your boots will last a lot longer, And if you're working with them and you want them more waterproofed than, say, spraying them would allow, this is the route you need to go. You really need to work in the open offs into this stitching here. You really want to highlight those areas where the sole meets the boot and where all the stitching is, because that's where moisture is going to get in your boot when you're working, and we all know how uncomfortable that can be. So I've had these boots for a few years now, and I've used this method for a while, and I can tell you that, man, these boots are so soft. When you put them on, they're just like slippers, and boots will get that way anyway over the years, but man, this really speeds up the process, and in doing so will protect your boots and make them look better for much longer than if you did nothing. So I like to start at the bottom and go in a 360-degree fashion, and then I work my way up. So that's just what I do. Everybody's going to have their own method. As you can see, look how pliable, look how soft the boot is. So there we go. I don't know about you guys, but I think the one on the right looks quite nice, and the scuffs are already taken care of. You see that? They're all gone, and you can't see them. And now we have the protection we need, and they're looking great. You could bring these bad boys to church. All right, we have to get the other boot done as well. In the efforts to save time, well, you already knew how to do one, so now you know how to do the other. So the one on the left is still a little bit more wet than the one on the right, but you can see the boot on the right. The open offs is really soaking in. That leather conditioner is already soaking in. And we're going to have to do a second coat, because 2 coats are better than 1, people. So we are going to let these sit for a couple hours, and then we're going to come back. Okay, here we go. It's a couple hours later. As you can see, they are dry enough to start applying our second coat. So let's apply it and see. And here we go. Second coat is applied. And man, these boots have really come back to life. The scuffs are non-existent now. Okay, our second coat is done. These boots have sat for 8 hours. And when you treat your boots with any kind of leather conditioner, you do want them to sit for 6 to 8 hours. And now we are getting to the final stages of our boot conditioning journey. We're going to just do a final buff, just going over with a dry microfiber rag, and we are buffing them out. Just look how nice these look. They are looking really spiffy. All the scuff marks are gone. They're so soft, just like silk. And now we're ready to fight another day. In the comment section below, I want to know how you take care of your boots. Okay, let's do some before and afters. So this is before, this is after, and before, and here we go, after. Thank you for watching.